Ariel Sharon was a polarizing figure, both praised and criticized during his career as a military and political leader that spanned half a century. And for more on his legacy, we're joined by Dr. Peter Bechtold, adjunct professor of political science at Portland State University. Dr. Bechtold, thank you for joining us. Will his death help the peace process?
Well, I don't think his death will influence the peace process because he has not been on the scene for 8 years, as your correspondent mentioned. I think that one could argue that during the visit of Secretary Kerry, his dying might delay things, and so there will be a normal delay in the peace process. But I don't think it will influence the peace process.
Well, if you're a part of this peace process, many state leaders and dignitaries as they are, how do they look at his death and how do they talk publicly about his death that will not in any way hurt the talks going forward?
Well, Ariel Sharon was a very divisive figure, not only for Palestinians, but also within Israel, and one could argue within the American Jewish community and the US government. He was very difficult to work with, and the attribute bulldozer that we just heard a few minutes ago aptly described him in his political life. It even goes back to the military because he decided on his own to attack certain positions, which made him very popular among conservative and right-wing Israelis, but also very unpopular within the government until he took it over himself. So world leaders knew who they were dealing with, that Sharon was not a man of compromise. He went all out for victory, politically, militarily, and his rival within Likud, Benjamin Netanyahu, the current prime minister, may feel a little bit more comfortable now that he is not around, although I would not put a great deal of weight on that.
We're hearing in our live reports today from Ramallah that people on the street in Palestine actually have a similar view of current Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. They don't favor him either any better than they do Ariel Sharon. What is your reaction to that?
Well, that is correct, because they both belong to a political party and a movement which does not believe in surrendering any territory on the West Bank. And without surrendering any territory, there cannot be a two-state solution, therefore no Palestinian state. And Netanyahu is a civilian politician whose policies don't really differ very much from Sharon's. Sharon was confrontational. He went with tanks into Palestinian communities. He deliberately moved into a Palestinian part of Old Jerusalem. Netanyahu has not done that. He's much more clever. He's more smooth as a politician. But in terms of the effects, one should not see too much difference. If I may add something, a lot of credit is being given to him, both by your commentators and in the media, that he withdrew the Israeli settlers from Gaza. And it's true, he did that. But, you know, the Israelis never wanted Gaza. Gaza was a huge headache, and so his withdrawal of Israeli forces made it easier for Prime Minister Sharon to argue for retention of the West Bank.
Thank you, Dr. Bechtold, for your comments today. We appreciate it.